Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order today, January the 18th, at approximately 6:02. Next up will be a roll call.
Alex Cantu, present.
John Anise here.
Claudia Ochoa, present.
Armin Garza, present.
JJ Peña present.
JJ Garza present. And Oscar Salinas here. Dr. B, I do declare a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Welcome, members of the audience. This evening, we have from the Academy of Health Professions, STEM student Baldomero Ramirez. Baldomero is going to lead us in the pledge. He's a 10th grade student at the Academy for Health Science Professions STEM. He joined the Academy for Health Science Professions because he wanted to get a head start on his plans in a career in medicine. Aside from his regular academic responsibilities, Baldomero is in UIL number sense and spelling, takes dual enrollment classes, AP classes, and is part of the Aspiring Science National Honor Society, and assists in community service projects such as the Christmas Toy Drive for Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Baldomero takes pride in being of service to others. I'm proud of you, Baldomero. Baldomero is the son of Baldomero and Martha Ramirez. Will everyone please stand for the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Baldomero. You represented your campus really, really well. Appreciate it. We wish you the best. I know your counselors here, Mrs. Campos. Thank you. A big round of applause for Baldomero.
Thank you, Baldomero. Moving on to the next item, approval of the tax collectors report, November 2016 tax collectors report. I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Next item will be under superintendent's report. For the record, we are postponing item number 3. Item number 3. Dr. B.
Okay. Under the superintendent's report, I would just like to report that as of January the 10th, we had 14,734 students, elementary students, and 14,661 secondary students, for a total of 29,395 students.
How is Mendiola doing that?
Mendiola right now, let me give you exact numbers. They were at 789, so it has helped that we have it closed and that the overflow is going to Seguin.
And our Huskies?
Our Huskies are, we're still studying the Huskies. They're at 2303. And we will have a discussion on proposed zoning options for next year for
And
What is
Seguin,
Lincoln?
they're okay. Seguin?
Seguin is okay. We may need to make a little change, but they're okay with 682 for Seguin. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions on the enrollment report? We're also really, really proud of 2 teachers that have been selected as candidates for the Harvard University Mathematics Teaching Graduate Program for the class of 2019 in a partnership with the Texas Graduate Center. This May, we will have the first graduates. We have 2 other teachers that we've recognized before that are going to be graduating. And these 2 teachers are starting their program, and we're really, really proud that we know they're going to do really well. We have Daniel Garza, who's going to be up there. If Mr. Cantu and Ms. Ochoa, if you could go forward. I apologize. What campus is he from? Mr. Garza, what campus are you from? Palmview High School. Mr. Garza is from Palmview High School, and he gets to work on a master's, and he stays committed to La Jolla ASD. So thank you, Mr. Garza. Our next teacher that we want to recommend also for this Texas Graduate Program is Ricardo Hinojosa. Ricardo, what campus? And then we need to do a picture together. Ricardo is from Memorial Middle School. Congratulations again. We're very, very proud of you, and we know that in a couple of years you're going to have a master's from Harvard University. Wow.
Jump number 3 down.
Yeah.
On to number 4.
The next item we have on the agenda, as all of you know, is, and a very special thank you for central office staff that was here this earlier today to recognize and thank our Board of Trustees. We also have some select campuses that were selected to recognize our Board of Trustees with some thank you baskets for Board Recognition Month. So I'd like to call on Brenda Cantu to lead this recognition.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Benavides, superintendents, assistant superintendents, and members of the audience. As we know, January 2017 is School Board Recognition Month, a great time to focus on the crucial role an elected Board of Trustees plays in our communities and schools. Recognizing our board members for this commitment and sacrifice takes a combined effort, as we know. And on the part of all those they serve, which is administrators, school staff, students, and the community, we want to say thank you. So today we do have some very special guests. We have students and their principals, and they have prepared a thank you basket for each and every one of you. So I'd like to call our school board president, Mr. Oscar Coach Salinas, to come up to the front, please. Thank you. And at this time, I would also like to call the schools and the students that are going to be presenting our Board of Trustees with the thank you basket and the scrapbook that they have prepared for each and every one of you with lots of love and admiration as well. So if we can have Analia Perez. She is a second grader at Flores Elementary, and her principal. Thank you. If we could also have Mr. Aaron Vela from North Academy. Thank you. Thank you. If we can now have Hugo Cantu. Hugo Cantu is a 7th grader at Chavez Middle School. Thank you, students, and to their principals as well for making this moment very memorable for our Board of Trustees. Thank you, Mr. Salinas. I would now like to call on our school board vice president, Mr. Armin Garza. Thank you. And to present our gift basket to Mr. Armin Garza, we have Caitlin Moreno from Perez Elementary. Caitlin Moreno. Thank you. Up next, we have Araceli Reyes with Principal Mr. Lindolfo Zamora from Hope Academy. Thank you. Up next, we have Mr. Armin Garza's beautiful daughter, Julieta Garza. Julieta is a student at the Zavala Middle School. Thank you so much, Mr. Garza. I would now like to call our school board secretary, Ms. Claudia Ochoa. And to present Ms. Ochoa with their gift baskets, it'll be Christian Cano, 4th grader at Leo Elementary. Thank you. We now have Lloyd Loya. Lloyd is a 5th grade student at Ibirreina Elementary. Thank you. Up next, we have Hazel Alvarez from Salinas Middle School. Thank you, students and principals, for making this happen. Thank you, Ms. Ochoa. I would now like to call on our school board member, Mr. Juan Jose J.J. Peña. And to present Mr. Peña with their gift baskets and scrapbook, we have Erin Vela from West Academy. Thank you. Up next, we have Juan Alonso from East Academy. Okay, unfortunately, they weren't able to be here, but we will get that gift basket for you. Up next, we have from Dr. Science Middle School, we have Cecia Hernandez. Thank you, students and principals, for making this happen. Thank you, Mr. Peña. Okay, thank you. We now have, if we could have our school board member, Mr. Juan Jose J.J. Garza, to come up front, please. Thank you. And if we can have Enrique Hernandez. Enrique comes representing Mendiola Elementary.
Do a picture, do a picture, do a picture.
Thank you. If we can now have Rose Hernandez. Rose is a 4th grader at Benavides Elementary. Thank you. Up next, we have Alex Cerda. Alex is an 8th grader at Ann Richards Middle School. Thank you. Thank you, students. Thank you, principals. And of course, I do want to thank every parent that brought their child, our students, to this board meeting. Thank you, Mr. Garza, as well. If I could now have our school board member, Mr. John Valente Alanis, to come up forward, please. Thank you. And to present Mr. Alanis with their gift basket and scrapbook, we have Salvador Villagran. He's a kindergartner at San Fordyce Elementary. Thank you. If we can now have Alisa Martinez. She is a 1st grader at Tabasco Elementary.
¿Y la niña se quiere tratar contigo, Pablo? ¿Y la niña se quiere tratar contigo?
Thank you. If we can now have Andre Peña, 8th grader at Treviño Middle School. Thank you, students, principals, and parents as well, and thank you, Mr. Alanis. And I now ask our school board member, Mr. Alejandro Alex Cantu, to come up forward, please. And to present Mr. Cantu with a thank you basket and scrapbook, we have Kimberly Medina. Kimberly is a 5th grade student at Diaz Villarreal Elementary. Thank you. If we can now have Eduardo Reina. Eduardo is a 5th grade student at Gonzales Elementary. Thank you. If we can now have Danielle Sanchez. Danielle represents Memorial Middle School. Thank you very much, students, principals, and parents, and thank you, Mr. Cantu. Last but not least, I'd like to call on Mr. Peña one more time. We do have Ms. Andrea Botello, 5th grade student at Kika de la Garza Elementary, who made it all the way over here to present you with your basket, Mr. Peña. Thank you very much. This concludes our celebration for the thank you baskets and scrapbooks.
On behalf of the board, I just want to extend our most sincerest thank you to all the departments and schools for the outpouring of support this week. We're truly humbled and just want to say thank you. We want to also reiterate and express that we know that the real stars of the show are our staff and our students. So again, thank you on behalf of the board.
Before we move on to our next item, I would like to recognize all the parents that brought the students here this evening and their principals, because I know principals were here last night and they're here again tonight. So parents and principals, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is presentation of proclamations from local entities to our School Board of Trustees, and Ms. Brenda Cantu will lead us in this recognition.
Thank you, Dr. Benavides. As we know, and we will continue as part of Board Recognition Month, we have asked diverse municipalities to pass a resolution to proclaim Board Recognition Month to honor and thank them for all they do for our students. So at this time, if our trustees can please come up and they will receive these proclamations. Well, you know what, we will have Mr. State Representative Oscar Longoria. State Representative Oscar Longoria will be presenting the proclamations on behalf of the Office of Texas Senator Juan Chuy Hinojosa as well. Thank you.
Members of the board, superintendents, and distinguished public, we currently are in session and we wanted to honor the school board. So we went ahead and passed two resolutions, one in the Texas House of Representatives and one in the Senate. And we suspended the rules to get those resolutions signed and dotted, and we went ahead and overnighted them. Fortunately for us, we were actually excused today, so I was able to make it down here and made it just in the nick of time. So I don't have gift baskets, but what I do have is resolutions on behalf of the House of Representatives and the Senate. So if you want, I can go ahead and read that to the board and let them know. Whereas the school board plays a crucial role in meeting the diverse educational needs of the children in their districts, and the observance of School Board Recognition Month in January 2017 provides a welcome opportunity to honor the trustees of the La Joya Independent School District. And whereas the mission of public schools throughout the state and nation is to empower children to become productive contributors to society in an ever-changing world, to that end, the La Joya ISD School Board members partner closely with the superintendent, along with parents, teachers, and community leaders to set policy that promotes a learning environment in which students across 43 campuses have a chance to thrive. And whereas the dedicated individuals serving on the La Joya ISD School Board trustees include President Oscar Salinas, Vice President Armin Garza, Secretary Claudia Ochoa, and board members Juan Jose Peña, Juan Jose Garza, John Alanis, and Alejandro Cantu. And whereas each of these notable Texans demonstrate a truly exemplary commitment to area students and bring a set of skills and a range of experience that contribute immensely to the success and operations of the district. Therefore, be it resolved that the Texas House of Representatives of the 85th Legislature hereby honor the La Joya ISD School District on this special occasion of School Board Recognition Month and extend to its members sincere appreciation for their outstanding service to the community. So thank you very much on behalf of the members of the House of Legislature and the 31 senators of the state. We honor you guys and we commend you. You have a thankless job, but what you do here, I think you show you have a lot of community support, and more importantly, you're looking out for our community because these children that go through this school district are the future of this area. So thank you very much. I commend each and every one of you, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to deeply thank our State Representative Oscar Longoria and Senator Juan Chuy Hinojosa for this. Thank you. At this time, we will have Commissioner Maria E. Henny Salinas on behalf of the City of La Jolla to present our Board of Trustees with a proclamation as well. Welcome, Salinas.
Good evening. It is a great pleasure to be here tonight honoring all of your hard work, Board of Trustees, administrative staff, all those teachers, and thank you also for the community for being part of this success that you have as board members. On behalf of the city, we thought it would be great to honor you this month, so I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. It states the following. City of La Jolla Proclamation 2016-03. Whereas the City of La Jolla supports public schools to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and to empower them to become competent, productive contributors to democratic society and an ever-changing world. And whereas local school board members are committed to children and believe that all children can be successful learners and that the best education is tailored to the individual needs of the child. And whereas local school board members work closely with parents, educational professionals, and other community members to create the educational vision we want for our students. And whereas local school board members are responsible for ensuring the structure that provides a solid foundation for our school system. And whereas the local school board members are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the district. Now, therefore, we, the City of La Jolla City Council, do hereby declare our appreciation to the members of the La Jolla Independent School District Board of Trustees and proclaim the month of January 2017 as School Board Recognition Month. In the City of La Jolla, and urge all citizens to join us in recognizing the dedication and hard work of local school board members and in working with them to mold an education system that meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children. This was proclaimed on the 13th day of December 2016 by the City of La Jolla, and we honor you greatly, and we look forward to collaborating with you in the future. Give everybody a hand, please.
Thank you to our Commissioner Maria E. Henny Salinas from the City of La Jolla. Up next, we have Dr. Ocaña, Councilman from the City of Mission, present a proclamation on their behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the citizens of Mission and all due respect to the School Board of La Jolla, the proclamation of the City of Mission reads as follows. Whereas the mission of the public schools is to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and to empower them to become competent, productive contributors to a democratic society in every changing world. And whereas local board members are committed to children and believe that all children can be successful learners and that the best education is tailored to the individual's needs of the child. And whereas local board members work closely with parents, educational professionals, and other members to create the educational vision we want for our students. And whereas local school board members are responsible for ensuring the structure that provides a solid foundation for our school system, and whereas local school board members are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and to this public's expectation to the district. Now therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Mission, do hereby declare appreciation to the members of the La Joya Independent School District and proclaim the month of January 2017 as School Board Recognition Month in the City of Mission, and urge all citizens to join us in recognizing the dedication and hard work of the local school boards and in working with them to mold an education system that meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children. Let it proclaim on this day, on the 9th day of January 2017, by acclamation and by unanimous vote, the mayor and the city council have declared this month School Board Recognition Month, and we congratulate you.
Thank you, Dr. Ocaña. We have one more proclamation from the Office of the Mayor from the City of Alton, and I will read it myself. It reads, whereas the mission of the public schools is to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and to empower them to become competent, productive contributors to a democratic society and an ever-changing world, and whereas local school board members are committed to children and believe that all children can be successful learners and that the best education is tailored to the individual needs of the child, and whereas local school board members work closely with parents, educational professionals, and other community members to create the educational vision we want for our students, and whereas local school board members are responsible for ensuring the structure that provides a solid foundation for our school system, and whereas local school board members are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the district. Now, therefore, the City of Alton and the Alton City Commission do hereby declare their appreciation to the members of our La Joya ISD School District Board of Trustees and proclaim this month of January 2016 as School Board Recognition Month in the City of Alton, and urge all citizens to join them in recognizing the dedication and hard work of local school board members and in working with them to mold an education system that meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children. In official recognition whereof, they hereby affix their signature the 13th day of December 2016. Congratulations to our Board of Trustees, and thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, board members, and thank you to each and every one of you who made this possible. This concludes our proclamation ceremony.
Thank you, Mrs. Cantu. Thank you to our trustees, and thank you to our surrounding communities for the proclamations. This concludes the superintendent's report.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you again to all the surrounding cities, just like Dr. Benavides said, on behalf of the entire board. And of course, our state rep office, District 35, under Oscar Longoria. Okay, next items, discussion items. Item number 1, discussion on investments, investment earnings as of November 30th, 2016.
Board President, members of the board, Dr. Benavides, we come before you to present our investment report for the period ending November 30th, 2016. I'd like to direct you to page 13 of our agenda. On page 13, we find our investment summary. As of November 30th, 2016, the general fund had $107.1 million. The general fund reserve had $10 million. The debt service fund had $17.2 million. The workers' comp fund had $10.7 million. The unemployment fund had $2.4 million. The health insurance fund had $5.8 million. The food service fund had $2.3 million. The merit scholarship fund had $152,000. The tax collection fund had $2.4 million. The print shop fund had $22,900. And the golf course had $85,000. Total investments and cash on hand as of November 30th, 2016 was $158.4 million. That's how much we had on hand as of November 30th. Any questions as to our cash and investment balances? If not, I'd like to direct you to page 23. On page 23, we have our investment earnings report as of November 30th, 2016. That's the period from September 1st through November 30th. In interest income, our general fund had generated $192,000. The debt service fund, $4,700. Workers' comp fund, $23,000. Unemployment fund, $5,500. Health insurance fund, $6,500. Food service fund, $3,400. The merit scholarship fund, $37. Print shop fund, $3. And the Howling Trails Golf Course, $7. Total investment earnings from September 1st through November 30th was a total of $236,400. Those are our cash balances and investments balance as of November 30th, and on page 23 is our investment earnings through November 30th. Any questions?
Any questions, guys?
If no questions, that concludes our investment report.
Thank you, Mr. Vela. Next up, it's public comments. Dr. Benavides, I believe we have, no, I'm sorry. Okay, one, two, I'm sorry. Okay, number two, I'm sorry, guys, went on to the next one. Discussion on the rezoning for 2017, 2018 school year.
Dr. Benavides, as we've discussed before, we have high enrollment at Juarez Lincoln High School. So we're looking for ways to relieve them a little bit of the population that they have there. This is the map as a whole, and the areas, this right here is the area currently zoned to Juarez Lincoln High School. The red area is zoned to La Jolla High School, and the bluish area is zoned to La Jolla Palmview High School. The areas that we're going to be discussing in a little bit will consist of this area right here, this little square right here, and also this area over here. So we're going to give you more detailed numbers over here and this area right here. We had already discussed this one right here. But now, originally we had thought of sending this area right here to La Jolla High School, and this area right here to Palmview High School. And that would be the impact in the next 3 years. We would send 69 students next year to La Jolla High School and 43 students to Palmview High School. Then the following year, we would send 55 students to La Jolla High School and 45 students to Palmview High School. Bless you. There was some points made that
What
we
middle school-
looked at
what middle
another
school are they-
alternative.
What middle school are they in right now, in this area here?
Which one?
That area? What middle school are they?
The ones you're sending to La Jolla High School,
I believe it's Ann Richards Middle School. Ann Richards Middle School.
All of them would be split from, so Ann Richards Middle School would be sending to 3 different high schools?
I don't believe they will be sending any to Juarez Lincoln, but they will be sending to Palmview High School and to La Jolla High School. Okay?
we already have Charles.
And that would be this year right here. But now,
And we are, I'm sorry, Mr. Vela, and we already have Chavez also sending to Palmview and sending to La Jolla, correct?
I believe Chavez is going to both, yes.
And I'm correct in saying I think Garcia also will be sending to Juarez Lincoln.
Juarez Lincoln is all Palmview, isn't it? Juarez Lincoln, I mean Irene Garcia.
Why are we pulling kids?
Irene Garcia, I think, goes to Palmview High School.
With this realignment, I know we brought in the curriculum instruction, I think they said some kids would be affected, they'd be moved to Juarez Lincoln, or am I mistaken? Or it's
No.
on the top end, okay.
What are the numbers that Juarez Lincoln has at this point right now?
Right now, they have a little bit over 2,300.
And La Jolla High School?
La Jolla High School has 1920.
And Palmview?
Palmview High School has 1929. So we're talking about 2303 for Juarez Lincoln.
How many are the, do you know that the kind of kids that we're sending, half the Chavez kids that we're sending to the Lobos? Wouldn't it be easier to send those kids straight to La Jolla? I mean, I'm just thinking, I know that you're looking at the areas and the routes and all that, but since we already have a middle school that's feeding half of those kids to La Jolla and half to Palmview.
Right.
Now we're gonna be taking kids from Ann Richards, and I believe Mr. Garza is saying that we're also gonna be having kids from Garcia go to.
I think it was a different realignment, I'm sorry.
Okay,
But the area we're trying to find relief for is at Juarez Lincoln High School. That's the area we're trying to concentrate to bring their
yeah,
population down.
but you're still sending from Ann Richards to the Huskies, right? That's what you just said right now, so,
And Richards, but
yeah, but because that one you're gonna divide it among the 3.
right, but I thought you said Chavez.
Well, yeah, what I was thinking was that depending on the number of the kids that Chavez has, I don't know how many of those are gonna be going to Palmview. I was thinking instead of getting kids from Ann Richards to go to La Jolla, that was what I was looking at, that maybe those kids could go from Chavez, depending on the routes, because that's what really gives us a hard time, right? The routes for the buses
And to go where?
to La Jolla. Because right now you're proposing take kids to both, to actually 3 schools, La Jolla, Palmview, and Juarez, right?
That's correct.
Okay. In the back burner over here, remember, we have Chavez giving some of those kids to Palmview and some of those kids to La Jolla. Am I correct? So what I'm saying is now you're gonna have a school that's gonna give to La Jolla, to Juarez, to Palmview, when you have one school already given to La Jolla, when you can avoid getting kids from here maybe to La Jolla and spreading them out evenly, maybe either to Palmview or somewhere else? I mean,
They're trying to create relief for Juarez.
The only thing that would do, that would mean that additional students would be pulled out of Palmview High School, but those additional students would not be providing any relief to Juarez Lincoln. So the whole idea was to find a way to provide some relief for
what's
Juarez
the
Lincoln.
number of kids? That's what I'm looking
The
at.
number is right here. If you look at,
Because my screen's not working, that's why.
yes,
What
yes.
are the actual numbers that actually go to the high school? Because those numbers are also, those numbers are for UIL, right? So those numbers include the people that are zoned to Palmview, that are zoned to Juarez, that are zoned to La Jolla.
The number that I just said?
Yes, that
That's the
actually,
actual enrollment that we have as of January 10th.
but inside the actual high school, or do they go to early college? Do they go to, in other words, to other campuses? I want to know, is that to where they're zoned at, or is that where the actual capacity, or the actual enrollment inside the high school?
Yes, yes.
Almost the same.
In the actual high school? Okay. So these are not
Those have their
UIL,
own enrollment counts.
these are not UIL numbers, and these are, okay.
It does, however, Mr. Alanis, include the Health Science Academy, Because the Health Science Academy, those kids keep their number, because they're not a separate number. But all the others, no, it doesn't include them.
Okay. So you have to prove this right now?
No, no. And tonight is not for approval, it's just different options, because one of the things that we were told was if we would take that little block right there, the little block that you see,
Yeah.
if we would take that particular block, that we would not be while we would be providing relief for Juarez Lincoln, we would not be helping them academically. And so because of that, we were told you need to look at other options. And that's the reason why if you move it down just a little bit, then you see the numbers at the top, where if we take from the top, from the north side, then these would be the numbers. The ones either the 70 for 8th graders, the 84 7th graders, and 71 6th graders, for a total of 225. However, when we got the feedback that it would be important that we look at the academic level of the students, when we compared the academic level of the students in the little green box that you see, it was the same as the ones that were further north. So it wouldn't really make a significant impact academically if we moved just that square, that little square, which is the
Was
ones.
that a committee that actually did that research, or what?
We presented it
research?
to the, we worked on it first, and then we presented it to the leadership group, and then we presented it to the curriculum committee with the trustees. And on all those different discussions, that's what came up.
Can we bring it back, and maybe hopefully we have a workshop with that, committee, and then maybe kind of explain
Yes.
on
and
that, and then kind of maybe come up with 2, 3 options, yeah,
We can do that.
because I'm looking at the total on the top would be what, 261, on the bottom is what? It was what, 140 something, then 203 over here, so,
Does that mean we would be actually busing these kids from over here to La Jolla?
see, because that's another thing.
That's correct.
Because we're already
Well,
doing some of
if
that
We're
to
talking
La
about
Jolla,
the
right?
square at the bottom. We would bus them. That's the dilemma that we're facing, is that they're so close to Juarez Lincoln High School, but the growth is over here in the northeast side.
If you see the little dots on this map, the little white dots, that's exactly where the schools are located. So look at the green area, and the white dot is very close to the boundary line.
And like was previously stated, the growth is all on the north end. So we're gonna have to try to do something to accommodate, because if we go ahead and make that move to move the bottom block, we're still gonna encounter the same problem in a year or two, because again, the growth is in the north side. And they're already landlocked as far as that bottom block.
And I agree with Mr. Garza, but I would like for us to take into consideration that, yes, academics are very important, but a lot of our kids love their fine arts, love their extracurricular, and it's kind of hard when you come out on Friday nights and you divide that talent, and then other schools come in here, and you have to stand there and wait and see that our kids are being beat 50 to 20, 60 to 30. It's not right, because we've been there, and I just want to make sure that we look at all those points as well as academics. I look at our mariachis, look at our bands, because we also want our kids to be successful at those areas and at those levels. And at the end of the day, it's their hearts that are going to be happy when they win. It's not very good when they lose and not be up there on the top. Yes, academics are very important, but we're also a school that actually looks into the fine arts, looks into providing kids, getting the kids off of the street. So I would like for that to be into consideration, and I would like for maybe a meeting with that group of people. And I understand, but we need to look at all aspects, not just, and of course the busing, that was something else that Mr. Alani said. I mean, we have to also look at how is it that we can save money and that aspect, and then also work with our transportation. Just my input on that, guys.
And that was the whole intent of today, is to get more input from the board, and then we'll look at the number of students that are participating in extracurricular activities, and then we will have board committees where we will present it again with that information.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Vela. Gracias.
Just to let the staff at Juarez Lincoln know that we are aware of their numbers, and we are doing our best to review so that we can have better numbers next year. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Garza,
Ms.
Mr.
Salinas.
Salinas, and
Thank you.
Mr. Vela.
Okay, now we're ready for public comments, and I believe we have one. Mr. J.J. Luna. Mr. Luna, just to inform you that you will have 3 minutes, sir. At no time will the board be able to address you, so whenever you're ready, let me know, and then we can start off with your 3 minutes, sir. I will advise you maybe 30 seconds before your time is up, so that you're able to finish off, okay?
Thank you very much. Good evening, members of the board, Dr. B, Assistant Superintendents, and the public. Thanks for the opportunity to address you about the District of Innovation proposal that is before you. AFT members are open to dialogue with you on particular exemptions the district might seek from education code requirements in cases where greater local flexibility would truly improve conditions for teaching and learning in our district. The question is, what exactly would District of Innovation status mean for the school children of La Jolla ISD? Under this status, the district could be exempted from many state laws that have provided safeguards of educational quality. As the board weighs this District of Innovation option, the first fundamental question you should ask is this: would proposed exemptions be merely for administrative convenience or truly for the benefit of our students? The ultimate goal of any policy you pursue should be to have high qualified teachers and other school personnel educating the students in our classrooms. The guiding question should be, what is required to achieve the goal for all of our students? Teachers, parents, and other community stakeholders need to know what a local innovation plan would mean for state laws that have provided significant safeguards in educational quality. Class size limits in grades K through 4 under Chapter 25 of the State Education Code, for example, help to ensure the individualized instruction that many students need in the crucial early elementary grades. Safeguards of the due process help assure a baseline for students, parents, and school employees alike in the enforcement of school discipline under Chapter 37 of the Education Code. The modest due process guarantees and employment rights and benefits in the state law for teachers and other staff in Chapter 21 and 22 of the Education Code help La Jolla ISD recruit and retain highly qualified teachers and other school personnel our students need. Also, a great concern would be any attempt to exempt the district from safeguards of parental rights under Chapter 26, from grading standards under Chapter 28, or from counselor-student ratios under Chapter 33. Any attempt to exempt La Jolla ISD from such basic state educational standards could put our district at a serious disadvantage in the competition with other districts for qualified personnel. In general, the more that the board publicly commits to limiting the intended scope of this proposal to specific items, the better. The board can dispel educator and parent concerns about the potential for harm from this model by affirming publicly that the board has no intent to use this District of Innovation device to exempt the district from the important state education
You have
code
30 seconds,
provisions
Mr. Luna, just so you know, 30 seconds. You have 30
that
seconds.
we have cited.
Okay.
Thank you for considering these questions and concerns carefully as you consider seeking District of Innovation status for our district. La Jolla ISD parents, student teachers, and all school personnel want to know if adopting this model will really improve conditions for teaching and learning in La Jolla ISD. Just one more thing, I want to thank Dr. Sainz for responding to my email on it, and I hope that that item that was mentioned would be the only one that would be impacted in this District of Innovation. Thank you very much, and you'll have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. Okay, next item on the agenda, guys, is consent agenda. I need a motion. I have a motion.
Second.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Coming back to contracts, item number one, under contracts, Region 1, Education Service Center, local assessment fee for special services projects for the 2016-2017 school year.
So move.
Second.
Motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 2 under contract, seeking professional services to be provided by Dr. Isaías Rodriguez, early childhood educational consultant.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Alanis.
You amend your motion to include subject to legal review of the contract.
Correct.
We have a motion by Mr. Arnita, have a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 3 under contracts, approval of the memorandum of understanding between La Joya Independent School District and Foods and Friends.
So move.
I have a motion.
Second.
A second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4 under contracts, memorandum of understanding between La Joya ISD and New York Life Company, City of Benita, City of La Joya, PVH-Phillips, Van Heusen, Tom Hilfiger, Workforce Solutions, One Stop Shop, LLC, La Joya Area Federal Credit Union.
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5 under contracts, externship agreement between La Joya ISD and HEB Grocery Company, LP.
So move.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Number 6 under contracts, the Texas Teachers Alternative Certification Program Clinical Teaching Affiliation Agreement.
So move.
So, I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7 under contracts, agreement between La Joya Independent School District and South Texas College Reading ESL and GED program.
So move.
So,
Second.
second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8 under contracts, resolution 2017-01 concerning the AF accountability rating system for Texas public schools.
Make a motion.
I have a motion on the table.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Numbers 9, 10, and 11. I recommend we move those items into executive session.
Okay.
I move to move those items to executive session, items 9, 10, and 11.
9, 10, and 11, or 9 and 10, Mr.? 9 and 10. Okay, so as recommended by legal counsel, for the record, items 9, 10, 11, and I have a motion by Mr. Alvin Garza.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. So for the record, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, moving on, under letter C, business and finance, that would be 9, 10, 11, after we come back. Number 5, authorization to proceed with renovations of the network operations center located at the central administration at Nelly Junior.
Make a motion.
I have a motion on the table.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Choa. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6, under business and finance, proposal submitted by engineer for consulting services to oversee the La Joya ISD wastewater treatment facilities.
So move.
I have a motion,
So I'll second that.
and I have a second on here. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, under business and finance, proposal submitted by engineer for consulting services to oversee the ventilation system at the cold and dry storage facility.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. On those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8, under business and finance, proposal submitted by engineer for consulting services to oversee the renovations to the Lincoln Building Chiller number 2.
So move.
Motion,
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 9, ranking of competitive sealed proposal for renovations to the Lincoln Building Chiller number 2.
So move.
A motion on the table?
Second.
A second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10, under business and finance, excuse me for that. Negotiate contract with contractor offering best value to the school district based on the published criteria and on the ranking evaluation of competitive sealed proposals for renovations to the Lincoln Building Chiller number 2.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11, under business and finance, comprehensive annual financial report for the fiscal year ended August 31st, 2016.
So move.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion
Just for
passes.
them to give some highlights.
I'm sorry?
Give some highlights on that one.
To give some highlights, okay.
Yes.
Can you, do you have somebody present that can give maybe like an outline, an overview on that for the board, please?
Good evening, Board President, and the Board. This is for the fiscal year ended August 31st, 2016. One of the major items here that we look at is our opinion, and that is in page 1, and the opinions that we issue in looking at all your financials and records and all that. There are several different types of opinions that we issue, and you have received a unmodified opinion. That means that's the cleanest opinion that you can have. There's a lot of information on the audit report, and I'd just like to point out several things on this. If you go to page 13, see, because we have a government-wide financial, and here is the fund level. And I think the fund level will be more interested in. And if you are on page 13, total assets, it's $136,379,903 as of August 31st. That's a pretty good number. Then if you look at page 15, on page 15 we have the statement of revenues and expenditures, and what I did was I did a recap on Excel for the last 5 years. I don't know if you have that before you. I think that shows a pretty good picture of what the progress is from 2012 all the way forward to 2016. And yes, there's some areas that you go down and up, but overall it has been increasing. So that is a very good thing to be looking at. If you have any questions on that, let me know. The other item schedule that I'd like for you to look at is on page 17. That reflects the control that you have excelled over the budget. Because you look on the final budget, you look down at that column, and that column is compared to the actual numbers that you did. And on the right column, you see any that are favorable or unfavorable. And as you can see, all of them are favorable, which tells me that you've been having a pretty good control of your budget and throughout all this process. So that's a really, really good thing to say, to see. If you look at the back of this, there are a lot of statistical information that I believe you wouldn't want to look at, but if you do, you let me know. The other is at the end of the report, there are 2 opinions that are required by TA for the federal programs. And those is something that we look at to see if there's any issues of non-compliance and material weaknesses, and this year we did not find any. I'm glad to say that every year that area grows as far as what TA wants us to look at. And I was very pleasantly surprised that I was able to I asked for something and they were able to provide it to me in a very, very timely basis. So it tells me that they're into it and know what they're doing. So, and that's about the big thing that I want, the areas that I wanted you to look at. If there's any other discussion or questions on any other part of the audit report, now's the time to do it, or you can call my office and I can come to where you're at, or you can go to my office and we can discuss it at length, if you so desire.
Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I would just like to point out that in the area of instruction in 2012, we were spending 116 million, and in 2016, 145 million. And so I do want to thank the board for their support in instruction, because that's critically important and that's where our money should be going. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, sir.
I'd just like to say that I'm sure that everybody appreciates your time and your effort, that not very many people would want to do that, and that's for the benefit. You don't get paid or anything, so that's for the benefit of your district, and it shows with the numbers that are coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, and thank you to the Business Department, Ben Garza, Joel Trevino, and the rest of the Business Department. Thank you for your work.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to item number 12, under Business and Finance. Hidalgo County Appraisal District, allocation of 2017 assessments for La Jolla Independent School District. Do I have a motion? Okay, I have a motion on the table.
Second.
A motion, I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And number 13, approval of campus start and end times for the 2017-2018 school year. And are we gonna talk a little bit about that, Doc?
The only thing that we will work with transportation to make sure that we're able to accommodate everyone, but Memorial and Garcia Middle School have been piloting a later start, and the idea is for our elementary students to start earlier and our middle school students to start a little bit later. Research does show that secondary students should start school a little bit later, and it's been working really well with Palmview and Garcia, and that's why we want to move the whole district in that direction, but we will work with transportation to adjust their schedule so that we can meet those timeframes.
Any questions? Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item number 14, nomination to the Texas Association of School Board Region 1, Position A Board of Director.
Do we have a concerned individual?
I don't know if you have any,
We don't have anything done.
no, any nominations.
Isn't that where isn't that where, okay?
We haven't gotten any, like sometimes we get to endorse someone. We have not gotten any.
So we postpone or?
We can put it again in our next board meeting in case you do get, some requests, but so far we have not.
So the motion
Unless somebody from here wants to,
Unless there's someone from the board that wants to be nominated for,
Anybody? Alex?
no,
Okay, so then we are doing the
just
motion.
postpone.
I need a motion to postpone.
so moved.
Okay?
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. We'll be postponing this item for the next meeting. Hopefully, we will get the names of the people that are actually wanting or interested for the Region 1 Position A Board of Directors, so that we're able to vote, since the district has so many votes whenever we decide on the name. Okay, so moving on, under letter D, Instruction and Student Services. If you look at the numbering system, remember just, it's 3, 4, 5, and then we take off, it was an error there. Camp Code for Girls, RFP 320-17.
So moved.
-10. A motion?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Next one, approval of a Fire Service Certification Academy, and I believe, Dr. Ocaña, you have the floor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President, fellow board members, Dr. Benavides, and assistant superintendents, and other professional staff, as well as the residents of this school district of La Jolla. Before you, I come, the La Jolla ISD Fire Academy presentation under the Law, Public Service, Correction, and Security Program will provide hands-on fire service training and certifications to students who are interested in a Texas Commission on Fire Protection firefighter. This academy will allow students upon successful completion to be eligible to take the state test, both the written as well as the skill test, as a Texas Commission on Fire Protection firefighter. Besides that, it will also enhance our graduation rate because a student will also be obtaining a high school diploma. The third part of this is that the student, upon completion, will also be credited with 26 college hours under the South Texas College Associate Program. Upon successful completion of the Texas Commission on Fire Protection test, the student will be ready for gainful employment with any Texas municipality, especially the Rio Grande Valley, as a commissioned firefighter. The average salary right now for a firefighter in a small community is around $33,000, and it moves up. I know for us in the city of Mission, our entry amount is $44,000, and within 18 months they go up to $55,000, given that they follow the protocols that are there. So in this case, if you approve this program, first of all, it will add to the average daily attendance, because we're also going to address dropouts and ask them if they want to become firemen to come back. But it also will be under the vocational program, and the vocational program usually adds a 1.35 weight extra to the average daily attendant as far as that is concerned. Yes, I put in your program that there is a $3,500 fee for the tuition for the STC, because it's going to be concurrent with STC as far as that is concerned. But if I call your attention to your second page on the narrative that I wrote, keeping in mind that this fire academy will be over 500 hours stretched from August to May. And as far as that is concerned, and one of the things that I do want to let you know is that it's already pre-approved by the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, that they will honor it, provided that the student is, when finished completion, is 18 years old. If not, they'll wait for them until they become 18 years old so they can take the state test. Fortunately, STC is a state test organization already sanctioned by the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, so we don't have to travel very far to administer those exit tests for the state as far as that is concerned. Now, basically, I do want to call your attention to the courses. The first course this year is the standard law, public service, correction, and safety program. And from there, that's a freshman curriculum, and a sophomore curriculum is Fire Administration 1, which is currently right now in practice. The only thing is that class only gets high school credit as of right now, because we haven't gotten the approval for the STC part, but it's coming forth because the next year, when they become juniors, they'll be Fire Administration 1 and 2, and that one will have both high school and college credit based on the fact that we'll be adding it to the MOUs that are usually done with curriculum instruction on as far as college credit is concerned. As far as that, and finally, the fourth year will be a fire practicum, and that is an actual fire academy complete full force sanctioned by the Texas Commission on Fire Protection as well as the STC, which will make it extremely very powerful for our students to be able to, those that are interested in becoming firefighters will have that opportunity here at La Jolla ISD. As far as I know, we're the first one in Texas to be at this level, as far as I know. So before you, unless you have any questions or anything that you want to, this concludes my mini presentation.
Dr. Ocaña, so this would be, of course, housed within our school, but then would we be assisted by the municipalities or?
There is we have to, based on, STC has already an MOU with the municipalities around to assist us with the instructors, the experts, and all that need to be, because all instructors have to be certified through the Texas Commission on Fire Protection. Otherwise, they will not sanction the program. But that will be in place later on. If this gets approved, I will work with Chief Delgado and the rest of the staff and curriculum and instruction on developing the fire administration, the fire service manual of operation for the whole academy. But preliminarily, like I said, we sent it to the Texas Commission on Fire Protection. They approved it. We're using the Texas Commission on Fire Protection's state curriculum standards and written and skill, both, and all the objectives. We wrote them up and sent them in, so they already reviewed it as far as that is concerned. But to answer your question, yes, we are going to need the municipality's assistance.
So if the board comes together and approves it, just to make it very clear, because I know you said it, but we would be the first district, not only in the valley, but in the state.
As far as I know, based on the information that I have, this is the first one at this level, where it's concurrent with SDC, and also to be able to, for our 17-year-olds turning 18, be at this category as far as that is concerned. I know that there's been other school district that has already contacted us, how we started and so forth, and of course I'm sharing that information from school district to school district based on the fact that we all want to be able to produce good firefighters in Texas.
On my behalf, I think it's a very noble profession, and again, I appreciate you bringing this to us, and I think it's a great asset to our kids who are looking for a career in public service. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ocaña, and again, this just proves that La Jolla is always up there leading, and not only leading, but leading the pack of all districts. So, thank you, and
Yes, sir.
with that, thank you, Mr. Ocaña. Dr. Ocaña, I have an item, I need a motion, please.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Ochoa,
Second.
second by Mr. Garmin Garza. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is consider, okay, that was the same one. Okay, consider and take possible action to adopt a board resolution to initiate designation of La Jolla ISD as a district of innovation. Mr. Rivera.
Mr. Salinas and Dr. Benavides, if I may, I would like to share with you the rationale for becoming a district of innovation and a brief description of the process which La Jolla ISD could follow to become a district of innovation. May I? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Well, the focus of our innovation will be to provide more instructional time for students and more planning time for teachers prior to the administration of the state test during the 2017-2018 school year. The calendar committee requested that the board consider applying for District of Innovation status so that we can develop and adopt a school calendar which supports improved student performance by increasing the amount of instructional time prior to the state test. We are asking to be exempt only from the law which requires that we start school on the fourth Monday of August or later. We are not asking for any other exemption. Through the District of Innovation exemption, we will be able to consider starting instruction earlier than August 28th, 2017. We could start as early as August 21st or August 14th, for example. Students will benefit from additional instructional days prior to the START test, which will be administered in December 2017 for our high school students, in the spring of 2018 for elementary, middle, and high school. And in the summer of 2018, we would have more instructional time prior to that test, those tests for elementary, middle, and high school. Students who are enrolled in college courses would benefit by having the same semester ending time as the colleges and the beginning time in January. An additional benefit could be, or would be, more flexible time for early release for our teachers, so that they could use student performance data from 6 weeks test, for example, to plan for effective instruction. And I believe that another possible benefit from starting 1 or 2 weeks early could be that our athletic teams and our band might have more time to practice before the season actually starts. Now, a brief description of the process for becoming a district of innovation. The District of Innovation law allows the board to set parameters for the development of the plan. So a possible parameter could be that you would limit us to only asking for that particular exemption so that we don't consider other exemptions. The innovation plan requires the approval of both the district-wide Educational Improvement Council, the DIC, and the board. Before the approval of the plan by the board, the final draft of the plan has to be posted on the district's website for 30 days. Any amendment to that plan would have to be approved by the DIC and the board. If the board approves that we develop a plan, an innovation plan, that is limited only to increasing the instructional time, we will be able to develop a plan and submit it for consideration to the DIC for a public meeting in early February. The board is required to conduct a public meeting, which we could do also in early February, to allow members of the public to hear the facts about the proposed plan and designation. After posting that final version of our plan on the website for 30 days, the board may choose to notify the Commissioner of Education of our intention or your intention to vote on the approval of the plan. The board could vote to approve the plan by April 12th of this year, and if approved, the district would then notify the Commissioner of the approval and implement the plan. That would be the process.
I wanted to just clarify that this particular motion is just to initiate designation.
That's right. Yes.
Then the district would have to form a committee. After the committee was formed, they have to develop a plan, and then after the plan is developed, they have to bring the plan to the board to be approved.
I wanted to give you that background as you consider the resolution.
Right. So this is just permission to move into it, to start that plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Rivera. Any questions? Yes. Okay, so I need a motion.
I so move.
Second. A motion by Ms. Ochoa, second by Mr. Garza. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Next up is a public hearing to receive stakeholder input and consider whether La Jolla SD should develop a local innovation plan for designation as a district of innovation, and we will be going into a public hearing as of 7:25 for the record.
As superintendent of schools, I would like to publicly reiterate what Dr. Rivera has said, also what Dr. Sines said in her email to Mr. J.J. Luna, AFT member, that the reason La Jolla ISD is looking into this District of Innovation is to have a better first day of school. Right now, the law says that you cannot start any earlier than the last Monday of August, and the last Monday of August, I believe, is August 24th?
28th.
28th?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that puts us really late into a start, and that is the reason members of the calendar committee brought this up, and that is the reason we're looking into it. We are not looking at any educator certification exemptions. We clearly understand the importance of teachers being certified in order for them to provide the very best instruction, so that was never on the table for discussion. We are not in any way going to impact teacher contracts. Teachers work 187 days, and that wouldn't change. It's still the same number of days regardless. It just depends when you start, and that determines when you end. The class size, it was never a discussion to exceed the 22-to-1 in the grades that are required, and also never to change any purchasing or contract requirements. The only two items that we want to look at very carefully is the first and last day of school, and then the length of the school day. And the only reason is that because sometimes the length of our school day, we're putting in more minutes than we need to, and sometimes our kids who need tutorial sessions have to stay very late, and those that are in extracurricular activities spend a lot of time, and then they're having to get home very late and not have enough time for their homework. That is the reason why La Jolla ISD is looking into becoming a district of innovation, and that is the reason why La Jolla ISD is seeking permission to start working on a plan.
Do we also have something else very important, Doc, which would be if those kids that are not able to pass, you mentioned that the day of the dinner.
And I'm glad you're reminding me. The benefits, and Mr. Rivera mentioned them, but the benefits are because we're a district that totally supports dual enrollment, We want to be able to be aligned with our universities, which is UTRGV and STC, so that they can finish in December and start a second semester in January. And the other most important reason is for other students who do not pass their end-of-course test and who need additional tutoring at the end of the school year. They will have additional time if we are able to end in May, if we're able to start earlier. And so usually the test in June is the third week in June, and so that determines how much time our kids will need to receive any assistance that they need to be able to pass their end-of-course tests so that they can graduate.
I have a question. Do we have any districts that are already aligned with this?
Thank you, Mr. Cantu. So far, from the valley that I know, it's Harlingen CISD, Point Isabel ISD, Los Fresnos ISD, and I was going to check on PSDA and I didn't. Valley View ISD. Valley View is a high-performing district and has been recognized by the state for their performance, and so they're another one. And Los Fresnos is a high-performing district.
Their innovation plan is very similar to ours, what we're asking for.
We borrowed the copy from Los Fresnos ISD, and theirs is solely on first, the start date of school. They focused on that. Any other questions or any other comments from the public? Because this is the opportunity during our public hearing. Follow the same rule. I don't know her name.
Ma'am, you will have 3 minutes, and at no point will the board be able to address you. Thank you so much.
Good evening, board members, and Dr. Benavides, ladies and gentlemen. I am Norma Vega, and I am a stakeholder in this. I am a teacher, a social studies teacher at Memorial Middle School, and I am also the current president of La Jolla ATPE, which is Association of Texas Professional Educators. And I come before you as president of ATPE to voice concern felt by many in the district. I urge you not to go forward with making La Jolla an ISD an innovation district. We have heard the information presented this evening, but this plan has real potential to mutate into something detrimental to our educators and students and parents in the future. I understand the reasoning for this, the flexibility, and it will help with many other things. I do, however, would ask, and I would like to see the board seek another solution before taking this drastic measure and becoming an innovation district. Districts of Innovation is a charter school model, and they are in the business of making money. Public school districts such as La Jolla are in the business of educating future generations. Adapting this plan for the next 5 years will inevitably lead to negative consequences for teachers, parents, and students. The board may have the right intentions today, but there's no guarantee that in the future, boards will not seek to take further exemptions from the Texas Education Code in the next 5 years that are allowable exceptions, as Dr. Benavides mentioned some of them. And these are the real concerns for teachers and for students and parents. These measures might sound to you a little outrageous. For example, teachers being hired, uncertified teachers being hired, assigning teachers to areas that they are not certified in, possibly losing your duty-free lunches and planning times. Teachers may no longer have the right to send a disruptive student to the office. Parents might lose a broad right to access instructional materials, and so on. The list goes on and on. And this is what we are looking at. We're looking at the future. We understand the intent today, but we don't have any guarantees for the future. So, La Jolla has always looked out for employees and students, and I urge you to reconsider the implementation of this plan and find alternative solutions to the calendar situation. Let's continue the legacy of educational excellence and the right of every student here in La Jolla. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anybody else?
Hi, good evening, Board. I just have two questions, I guess. As Ms. Benavides mentioned, you're only seeking exemption from the start date. If you do become a DOI, would that include everything else that was mentioned that you're not seeking? Once you become DOI, let's say you're only seeking the one exemption, right? Would that include everything else with the package, or would that only be the one exemption? Once you become DOI in general, then everything would fall into that, or just the one exemption?
When you develop your plan, you have to identify one of these areas, and you develop your plan based on that area. For example, Los Fresnos identified their plan, the first and last date. So you are going to get some exemptions in that area.
But just in that one area?
The areas that you identify in your plan.
Okay.
those
So
are
you all
the-
aren't planning to include the education certification, the teacher's contracts, the first and day, yes, you said. Length of the day, yes.
Yes.
Class size, you said no.
No,
Certain purchasing and contracts requirements, you are not seeking that.
no. And when you develop the plan, you have to specify what area you're applying for, and that's where you receive the exemption. It's not an open exemption for all 6 things.
Okay.
Okay.
So
In
there
the-
wouldn't be. Okay. So the other question is, who exactly is the commissioner that you all need to provide that plan to?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Who is the commissioner that you all need to provide that plan to?
You submitted to the Texas Education Agency. Right now, the commissioner is Mike Morath, so you would
I'm
submit it
sorry,
to-
what is his name?
Mike Morath, Morath.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other person?
Good evening. I'm Vanessa Brown, and I am a supervisor at Guillermo Flores Elementary, and I'd like to speak in favor of the DOI in 2 capacities. As an instructional supervisor, it is my responsibility to make sure that our teachers provide quality instruction to our students every single day. And as our calendar this year has already been truncated, we did have 6 weeks in the fall semester that was shorter than the other 6 weeks. We've already seen the repercussions of our students having reduced days for instruction in the fall semester. Our teachers are forced to cut back or to try to cram instruction into less days because we are required to test at the end of the 6 weeks. We have to make sure that our students have mastered the curriculum, and if they haven't, we need to check that and then make adjustments. If our teachers are given more days to provide quality instructions to our students, the only ones that benefit are our kids. And so when we look at this, we need to go back to our basic principles that we run this district on, which is that we control the variables for success. And if we have this opportunity to make a change to our district calendar and control those variables, it behooves us to at least look into it, to at least take on the time and the responsibility and the effort to see if this is something that will benefit not just our teachers, but ultimately our students, which is who we are here to serve. The second thing that I'd like to mention is in my capacity as a parent, I have a 4-year-old and a 1st grader that attend Guillermo Flores Elementary. What I want for them as a parent, as a taxpayer at La Jolla ISD, as an educator at La Jolla ISD, is for them to be able to get every possible benefit, every possible bit of knowledge that their teacher can give them. And so if that means that our summer vacation is cut a little bit shorter this summer so that they can come in a little bit early, or if that means that their teacher has a planning day and they get a day off so that I can help their teacher in my capacity as an instructional supervisor prepare the best lessons for them, then that's what I want for my personal kids. And I'm sure that that's what all of our parents want for their kids when they put them on the buses and they send them to our schools in the morning. So I think that if anything, if there are still doubts, at least take the chance so that as a committee can be formed and we can figure out, is this going to be the best thing for our kids? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Is there anybody else that would like to comment? Okay, at this time, it is 7:38, and we end the public hearing for that item as spoken there. So just to take into consideration, members of the board, you heard several of their comments, and I'm gonna go ahead and need a motion on the public hearing to receive stakeholder input and consider whether La Jolla ISD should or not motion on that innovation.
we need a motion.
I think we do that.
No, the next
So then we just take it like that?
Yeah, the next one.
Okay, so then we'll go on that one. Okay, so then the next one will be deliberate and take possible action to appoint a committee to develop a local innovation plan. Do you take into consideration what you've heard here from the public?
So moved.
A motion by Ms. Ochoa,
Second.
a second by Ms. Fernandez. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, at this time, it is 7:39. We will, I'm sorry, human resources, I wanted to go already into executive session. Okay, human resources, I'm sorry about that, guys. Additional Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System, T-TESS, appraisers, and, that's about it, 175. What is? I'm gonna go ahead and have a motion.
Mr. Garza made a motion.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Hernandez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Next one, Doc, maybe if you can explain a little bit on that one, the revised stipends under Human Resources, number 2.
These revised stipends were approved at the beginning of the year when we had the budget process. However, they were never approved, and we're bringing them to you. But they were approved, or they were discussed when, thank you.
Second.
So approval, Mr. Garza, second, Mr. Hernandez. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you so much. And now we'll be going into executive session now for reals. Under section codes 551071, 551072, and 55074 at 7:40. We are out from executive session. It is exactly 8:28. And I'll be going back to contracts. We have pulled out items 9, 10, and 11. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion on item 9 and 10 as discussed, to so move and approve as discussed in executive session.
Second. A motion, I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Next item is item number 11 that sits by itself.
So move to postpone that item.
A motion to postpone?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
For the record, Mr. Peña is abstaining.
No, I'm voting nay.
He's voting against. He's voting against. I'm sorry. He's voting against. For the record, Blanca. Okay, motion passes. Now we go back to under personnel, letter H. I'm gonna need a motion.
Make a motion?
Under letter H, items 1 through 10?
1 through, yes.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Cantu to approve items 1 through 10 as discussed in executive session, Mr. Cantu.
Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
A motion, I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion passes. It is 8:30, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.